Hello, welcome to another vlog. Although this time it's not so much of a vlog about a particular activity, but more of an anniversary. Nearly a year to the day, I'm coming to you from exactly the same place I started my vlog off that day as well. I'm on the shores of Loch Creran, which is behind me. Over these hills, as if you go around the mainland here, is Loch Linney, and then if you go over the hills behind you and over, that's you into Loch Etive. So you head straight up Loch Creran right up to the very end and go over that. You'll eventually end up at Ballyhoolish and Glen and such like. But in particular, we're talking about Beinn Sgulaird, which is just here, so Munro. But this time last year, there was two guys who came up from Glasgow to go for a walk up said hill, which isn't unusual because this is one of those places where a lot of people come to go for a walk. And they brought their dog with them. Again, not unusual, a lot of dog walkers up this neck of the world. But the weather was bad. I mean, it's pretty grey and dank today, but that day it was, that week actually, it was really bad with snow and variable temperature changes and weather changes. It was very intermittent. But the two gents in question were up the hill, getting a bit of difficulty because the weather moved in around them, and they were trying to make their way back down, and their dog, who was a bit in the elderly side, was 11 years old and legs gave out allegedly, and couldn't make it off the hill, so they elected to leave her behind. There was a shout out for help put out onto the internet. I'm sure you're aware that Facebook and the likes is full of help pages throughout the UK who help track down missing owners and missing dogs and all sorts of stuff, and it's a really heartwarming community. In this particular case, I was looking through Facebook and I happened to see where it was. It was relatively, well, it is relatively close to me. I only stay down the road in Oban. If you look at it on the map, it's very close. So I decided as a drone pilot that I would come out. You know, I know the area. I thought if I could fly, I could maybe do something to help, as did a few other people. I spent the week, well, a good part of that week, searching for the dog up the hill in really terrible conditions, as did many other people. There was a few other people that were out with me that week, although we never actually ever bumped into each other. There was people on the ground doing their bit, dog lovers alike. Well, I had a dog, but I just felt compelled to go and have a look. Unfortunately, by the end of the week, and indeed this vlog is kind of in memoriam, or it is in memory of Meg, who was the dog, the body was recovered off the hill in a shroud of mystery, and that mystery carries on till today also. It's been it's not a great feeling losing a pet. It's also not a great feeling knowing that an animal may or may not have suffered at the hands of a negligent owner, perhaps. It's still very speculative as to what happened. Nobody actually ever really found out. It just seemed all very... The owners found the body over everybody else that had covered the hillside, and we hadn't found anything. So it was very... we're all very speculative of how and why Meg passed away. So it's been a year now, and obviously the online side of it was still very hot for a very few months. The page is still running and people still use it to notify about other missing animals and maybe get the word out to see if there's anybody on the ground. I now noticed over the year there's been a couple of dogs recently who went missing in this particular neck of the woods. In fact, one just over the hill, but was found again, as was the second one, as far as I'm led to believe, which was further north in the northwest of Scotland, both found well and alive. When this dog though went missing, it was pretty much a call to arms, and there was a lot of angry people out there, and I don't think anybody really got any satisfaction at the end of it. As we were led to believe, the owner of said dog got another dog, a puppy, and that angered a lot of people as well. And I can empathise with that anger, because just under the circumstances in which this all took place, it just all seemed that little bit shady. Well, it didn't sit well with a lot of people, and it still hasn't sat well with a lot of people. Anyway, today was not necessarily about discussing what had happened, because I already did a video on that, and the search and the conditions that we were all facing that week, and it was a very sad outcome. This was more about to remember what happened, and not that anybody will have forgot. Because it was quite close to a lot of people, even though the dog wasn't theirs. And it's that I really want to pay homage to, and I want to pay homage to everybody that got involved. Now, if you come up here to Beinn Sgulaird and you come on to, you can have a little look at the fence. There's a fence that you go through and takes you up into the hill. There's a remembrance there for Meg. So really I just want to fondly reflect on that and thank you to everybody that helped and donated and gave money and all the things. There is still a permanent memorial still to be sorted out, and I know that a year is a long time, but this is all private land. It's either owned by a specific landowner or indeed the Forestry Commission, and it's very political. They want to do something a bit more substantial. Will still happen. I'm just sorry it hasn't been done before now. Hopefully this little memoriam will at least mark the 1 year anniversary of Meg passing away, and in whatever circumstances, I hope everybody has used the power of community to help others track and try and get their lost pets back to them just by sharing their plights online. Social media is such a big thing, and just by somebody posting up a picture with lost and in the area is enough to get that shared around loads of online forums and places. And I certainly give a shout out to the people at the search and rescue, the dog search and rescue that runs across the UK, where there's drone pilots attached to it, and if anybody's in the neighbourhood can go out and lend support, which is what I did, and was the whole reason I ended up doing this, because I responded to a call because somebody asked me if I would, because they knew I was a drone pilot. So I'm going to sign off just by saying thank you to everybody. Thanks for watching this, and thanks for everybody that supported the cause when it happened. And although we didn't get the result that we wanted, in any respects, you know, not getting Meg back alive, and also perhaps not fending off the owner to get another dog, which is quite sad as well. I just hope that the dog that he does have, that he learned from this lesson. Whatever happened on that hill between him and his mate and that dog, obviously there's no way we're going to ever find out. I just hope it never happens again, because there was such a public outcry. Well, what happened, and here we are a year on and nothing's changed. But hopefully anybody come up here for a walk can pay their respects. I know people would laugh and say, but it's only a dog. But it's not just a dog to some people. I think the emotions were charged high. Yeah, it certainly made it all very interesting in terms of how people reacted, and rightly so. I want to give special thanks to Maggie, who was responsible for said plaque. She was there from the beginning, championing the cause, so to speak, and we've stayed in touch, which is nice. A lot of us have stayed in touch, so thanks again. Thanks to everybody. I hope something like this never happens again on my doorstep, and if it does, like it has, I do hope the dogs are returned to the owners, and I will bid you farewell and say thanks again.